Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new live edition of Season's All Out Baseball Show here on August 3rd. We are heading into the 6 o'clock hour here on the West Coast, the 9 o'clock hour on the East Coast. We have some big news that I'm going to talk about today, including the breaking news that Alex Rodriguez may be facing a long ban that could be going through the end of the 2014 year. We have opinion from one of his teammates, that wants fairness and wants the cheaters of this biogenist problem to be suspended for a very long time. And it's a team for the Yankees. Find out who it is, and it's a surpriser in my opinion. New York related news: David Wright heading to DL. Another New Yorker, and this time a Yankee, is going to be missing a couple of games during this weekend, and it's the captain from New York. Also, Miggy is out again. Nike ending their relationship with one cheater. And the Giants, they're struggling, but they made a drastic move in their starting rotation. And this is all going to be covered here on Season's All Baseball Show here on August 3rd in affiliation with the National Sports Radio Station. Again, welcome everybody to a new live edition of Season's All Out Baseball Show here on August 3rd on the National Sports Radio Station and here on Spreaker.com. My name is Stephen Hughes. Let's go straight to the big news as of right now, since we have 15 games going on, but this news just tops them all. It is the big news of Alex Rodriguez facing not just this season's long suspension, but next year. A-Rod will be suspended Monday, likely through the end of the 2014 season, sources told Outside the Line TV show on ESPN Saturday. And another 12 players will also be suspended Monday. And then several sources familiar with the talk said tense deliberations between A-Rod and Commissioner Bud Seliger's office broke down completely Saturday after Selig told officials he would no longer negotiate. One source told the Outside Alliance people that the Major League Baseball's Player Association Executive Director Michael Weiner called MLB Executive Vice President Rob Manfred on Saturday asking for a meeting between the union, MLB, the Yankees, and Rodriguez's camp, but MLB refused. Major League Baseball has said repeatedly the Yankees have no place in negotiations and that this discipline was the domain of Selig and no one else, a source said. Several sources also said that Selig was, quote, furious with Rodriguez for telling reporters he would not negotiate, even as his attorney sought a deal to mitigate MLB's looming punishment. Previous reports from Outside the Lines have said 8 other Major League players were facing suspensions, but sources said the number could be about 12 when the announcements are made. Both Manfred and Weiner refused to comment on this situation. The source from Rodriguez's camp told ESPN New York that Rodriguez has no interest in a settlement and is prepared to fight baseball in arbitration. The source says that Major League Baseball offered to drop in any lifetime bans if Rodriguez accepted, giving an arbitrator the flexibility to charge him with more than a 50-game suspension. Rodriguez sides, quote, Ivan Kliliki turned down the offer. the source said, pointing to a clause 7G of the joint drug agreement that states that PED use can, quote, only be hit with a 50-game suspension. Rodriguez has never failed a drug test before, so big news coming here. But like I said, one of his teammates, it's not just A-Rod in particular, it's about all the cheaters that, deserve fairness between the players that do not cheat. Curtis Granderson, the granny man, who hasn't played all but 2 games for the entire year, and who is the Yankees union representative, says that while he hopes Alex Rodriguez will join the team on Monday in Chicago, he is in favor of punishments for players who are found guilty of violating baseball's CBA regarding PEDs. This is what Granderson said, quote, I'm all into the innocent until proven guilty thing, but for me, the way I look at it is, whatever the rules happen to be, let's abide by the rules. If someone violates the rules, let's go ahead and take care of it, end quote. Granderson, who is returning to the Yankees lineup Friday night for the first time since suffering a broken left hand on May 24th, said he looks forward to the return of A-Rod, who is rehabbing with the AA Trenton Thunder team this weekend, but is no longer to rejoin the Yankees with the potential suspension hanging over his head in the connection with MLB's biogenics investigation. Like I just said, if you just missed what I just said like a couple minutes ago, Alex Rodriguez likely going to be suspended through the 2014 year, the entire 2014 season, and that's, in MLB's thoughts, that's better than a lifetime ban. And that was a possibility from Major League Baseball, but from the arbitrator in Major League Baseball offices, they're trying to hurt A-Rod, but at the same time help him in lowering the suspension rate to only an entire season. And that sounds ridiculous, but it sounds a lot, very long. Some people might be just saying, hey, I want the band, I want A-Rod banned for life. It's kind of like a Pete Rose thing. He's ruined the game, but now with Pete Rose ruining the game in gambling, it's him ruining the game in a way that is going to hurt the legacy of baseball as America's pastime. But anyway, let's keep it going. As if he expected to see A-Rod when the Yankees get to Chicago for 3 games against the White Sox beginning on Monday night, Granderson said, "I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to have him with us." End quote. But Granderson said he and A-Rod, with whom he rehabbed his injury in Tampa Bay last week, had not discussed A-Rod's looming suspension or anything regarding the allegations leveled against him in the biogenics investigation. In his capacity as the Yankees union rep, Granderson said he had discussions with MLB Major League Baseball Players Association's counselor Dave Prudy about a month ago regarding A-Rod's case, and came away believing A-Rod had the full support of the union in the event he is suspended and chooses to appeal the ban. Granderson said that since Ryan Braun accepted a 65-game suspension for his involvement with biogenics, he has made inquiries to better understand exactly why the Brewers outfielder was suspended without having officially failed a drug test. The CBA stipulates a 50-game suspension for a first-time offender, which Braun technically is, and A-Rod technically would be if found in violation via a non-analytical positive. Braun was assessed an additional 15 games for unspecified violations involving his grievance of a 2011 positive drug test, which was overturned back in October 2011 during the 2011 postseason. So Curtis Granderson, it seemed like when I heard about this, he could have possibly said, hey, I didn't know he was the Yankees, union rep. But when I heard this, I feel like he was going to throw him under the bus. I'm talking about A-Rod in all way, shape, or form, or in any way, shape, or form. And I felt like it was time for a player to, come out and say, hey, this is not right, and this isn't the way to go, per se. But anyway, let's go to some scores right now. We have 15 games today here on this August 3rd, and we're wrapping up the end. We've already wrapped up the end of July, And right now, pitching for Tampa Bay is David Price, who is probably going to win Pitcher of the Month for July, after having a sensational month, along with the Rays surging record heading up to the top of the American League East. Currently, the Rays are tied at a 1-1 ball game against the Giants. Luke Scott up to the plate against Tim Lincecum, who hasn't done really bad. 6 2/3 innings, only 1 earned, and 5 strikeouts for the former Cy Young winner. Let's go to some finals as of right now. Let's go to Oakland and Texas of AL West showdown afternoon game there. The A's took the win 4-2 after scoring 3 in the first inning, and Cespedes Blast hindered Matt Garza, his first start in Oakland after being traded from Chicago to Texas. Jared Parker gets the win. Like I said, Garza gets the loss, and Grant Balfour gets save number 29, also hitting a home run in today's game in Oak.co Coliseum is Ian Kinsler, his 10th for Cespedes. He hits his 17th. Let's go to Wrigley now, as the Dodgers are taking on the Chicago Cubs. And the Dodgers set a mark with their 13th road win in a row. Dodgers win 3-0. They get 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. For the Cubs, no runs, 8 hits, 1 error. So the Cubs shut out once again. All because of Chris Capuano getting his 4th win of the year. He did great. Jeff DiMaggio suffers his 10th loss of the year. And then Jansen with the save number 16 for him. Let's go to a final in Philadelphia as well. This one going to extra innings, a little free baseball over at Citizens Bank Park, as the Braves won their 9th straight as the bullpen stymies Philadelphia. Atlanta was catching up and actually got the lead, a 1-run lead back in the 5th inning to make it 4-3. But Philadelphia did score a run in the 7th to tie the game and send the game to extras. And then 12th, the Braves got it done. Availing with the win, getting his 4th win of the year. Diekman with a 2nd loss of the year. Craig Kimbrell, the ever always dangerous closer out of the bullpen from Atlanta, gets save number 33 on the year. Justin Upton is starting to get hot again. He has home run number 19 on the year. And then for the Philadelphia side, John Mary Jr. gets number 8 on the year. Let's go to some current games as of right now. The Rockies down to the Pirates 3-0 at PNC Park. We're at the top of the 6th. Francisco Liriano just got out of the top of the 6th, and now we're heading to the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-0 your score. Liriano's doing some great work. 6 innings, only 2 hits allowed. And the Pirates are looking like they're going to get win number 66 on the year, number 37 at home. Let's go actually to Baltimore, as the Mariners are taking on the Orioles. It's been a power showcase over there at Camden Yards. The Mariners up 6-2, but 4 home runs are in this game after 5.5 innings. From the Seattle side, Michael Saunders and Justin Smoke have hit a home run respectively. Saunders with number 9, Smoke with number 10. From the Baltimore side, their 2 solo shots have been their only offense, with 2 runs and 2 hits. Matt Wieters with number 15, and Manny Machado, the third baseman, the AL All-Star from the third base side, his number 10. Let's go to Milwaukee. The Nationals have a 3-0 lead over the Brewers in the top of the 8th. LaRoche and Ramos with home runs respectively for Washington. The Brewers are being held to only 4 hits in the day. Tigers 3-0 over the White Sox after 7 innings. Max Scherzer doing great on the mound. 7 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. He's taking on Gordon Beckham right now at the plate. He is 0-2. Torrey Hunter, Johnny Peralta, and Jose Iglesias. Iglesias hitting his first home run as a Tiger. But Hunter and Peralta and Iglesias have been the only run supporters for the Tigers, as 3 solo shots have been the only offense for the Tigers so far out of their 6 hits. Let's go to Cincinnati now. 5-3 is your score over there at the Great American Ballpark. 5-3 Reds over Cardinals. Things are looking good over there for Cincinnati. Only 5 hits and 5 runs, but they still got the lead, as they are looking to close out a very weird up and down series for them against the St. Louis Cardinals. Sox and Diamondbacks, 1-1 is your score in the bottom of the 7th, but Jacoby Ellsbury with the runners on 2nd and 3rd with no outs is looking to break that lead open to actually take the lead, and they actually did right there. A wild pitch by Corbin has just brought in the second run of the game for the Red Sox, and the lead is now 2-1 Red Sox as of right now. After 6 innings, it's 2-2 in Miami as the Indians and the Marlins are tied up. Doing good over there is the Indians. They're trying to get win number 61 of the year. What an amazing year they're having, a surprise year out of the American League Central. Couple more games, actually 3 more games to take care of. Astros are up 4-3 at Target Field. Houston scoring 3 runs in the third have been really the only reason why they are in the lead as of right now. They have 9 hits, surprise, especially after sending away their best outfielder to Kansas City in Justin Maxwell. Yankees and Padres, they are top of the third. They are at mill. Tyson Ross on the mound for the San Diego Padres as Chris Stewart has just swung and missed. Strikeout for him. We got 1 out in the top of the third in the Yankees-Padres game. One more game, bottom of the first. Blue Jays and Angels 0-0 to score over there in Anaheim. Now let's go to a couple more pieces of news over from the New York area. David Wright, after pulling his hamstring after trying to beat out a ground ball in yesterday's game after getting an MRI, he has a right hamstring strain and he's been landed on the disabled list Saturday morning. The team announced Wright has a grade 2 strain of the hamstring, the middle of 3 levels after undergoing an MRI at the Hospital for Special Surgery in Manhattan. Mets manager Terry Collins estimated Wright would miss 3 to 5 weeks. Like I said, Wright was forced to depart Friday night's game against the Royals after beating out an infield single in the top of on the bottom of the 10th inning. Wright had been battling hamstring discomfort for a week, although the organization portrayed the issue as a cramp and insisted the third baseman was not exercising poor judgment in playing through the injury. Wright said he wanted to keep himself under control running out the grounder in the 10th inning when the hamstring finally gave out Friday night, but his hustling instincts kicked in. He portrayed the injury as unavoidable. He added that that is not his style to have rested for a prolonged period when the issue initially arose a week ago in the nation's capital. Sitting out for several days then might have avoided a greater absence now. But another injury, but seems a little bit bigger because it's a future Hall of Famer possibly. Derek Jeter will be missing the next 2 games, or the weekend games, you can say, against San Diego, as he has been feeling some discomfort in his right leg. This is what Joe Girardi said before Saturday night's game at Petco Park. Quote, he's been battling this leg problem. He's also battling a little calf problem. I'm going to give him the next 2 days off, see where we're at on Monday. Hopefully get him back in there on Monday. So he's missing the final 2 games of the Padres series, but Jeter, who has missed the first missed the first 91 games of the season after suffering 2 fractures of his ankle back in the postseason last year, only came off the DL on July 27th after suffering a strained quad in his right leg in his first game back on July 11th. Jeter was not in the training room receiving treatment and was not available to reporters before Saturday's game. In Friday night's game, a 7-2 Yankees loss, Jeter made an awkward half slide after going from first to third on a single. Later in the game, he appeared to hobble back to the dugout after flying out in the 3rd inning. And the 7th took an awkward step while fielding a potential double play ball at shortstop and wound up throwing the ball past Robinson Cano, don't you know, at second. He also committed a throwing error in the 2nd inning. After Friday's game, Girardi had acknowledged Jeter was physically hampered, saying, quote, I'm not so sure he's 100%, but he's trying to grind it out for us. And with that, let's go to a music break. When we come back, I'll be talking to you guys about Miggy's injury, Nike's end in a relationship with a PED user, the Giants and their problems with pitching, especially with Barry Zito with all the money he's been given, and the standings outlook, always an annual part of the end of the show here on Steven's All Baseball Show. As we're heading to music break, it's Steven's All Baseball Show here on a live edition here on the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com.
È strano se sfiorandomi riemergerai dal buio. Riposa un po', mia cara Bea, il tuo regno sai non brilla più. È strano se la nullità si prenderà il gioco di noi, riempie già gli spazi tuoi con spazi di vertigine. Non era semplice stringere aria e vento, com'era semplice spegnerli e poi salvare te, com'era semplice scendere da dove tu non puoi. In quest'autunno rosso io ti perdo e ancora. Non era semplice ridere, uno scambio d'opinione può servire a stare meglio, specialmente se è violento e se poi non ho ragione. Beh,
Welcome back to Seems All Baseball Show here on an August 3rd evening. Let's go to some news. Miguel Cabrera is out of the lineup once again. Tigers will try to win once again without Miggy in the lineup. He will not be starting against Chicago. He's played only 3 games since leaving the 5th inning July 22nd at Chicago with a left hip problem. He's also been bothered by a strained lower abdomen that's been hindering him since the beginning of the second half of the regular season after the All-Star break. The Tigers haven't missed a beat without their slugging third baseman. They've won 10 of 11 since July 21st, heading to Saturday's game. Jose Iglesias, who was just recently acquired by Detroit in a trade that sent Jake Peavy to Boston, is starting at third base instead of Cabrera, and he'll bat 7th. Outfielder Matt Tuiasosopo takes over number 3 spot in the order, where Cabrera usually hits. Miguel Cabrera's stats has been unbelievable. He's batting .359 with 32 home runs and 99 RBIs. He is now second in both home runs and RBIs after Chris Davis became the first Major League Baseball player this year to achieve triple-digit RBIs after hitting home run number 40 on the year. What a year he's been battling with Miguel Cabrera for the possible Triple Crown award. Let's go to Nike and Ryan Braun, and Nike has cut ties with Ryan Braun, and this is what Juwan Wilkins, a little bit of a hard name, a spokesperson for Nike, acknowledged Friday that the company no longer has a relationship with Braun. The outfielder accepted a season-ending 65-game suspension imposed last week by Major League Baseball for his connection to the Biogenesis drug scandal. Braun has been wearing Nike shoes and batting gloves for his entire 7-year Major League career. The company recently began selling Big Bat like Braun, and Braun owns Milwaukee t-shirts in stores. Braun has lost nearly all of his endorsement deals in the 2 years since he became connected to performance-enhancing drugs. And these endorsement deals go like so. Wisconsin-based Quick Trip canceled its Lunch with Ryan Braun promotion. Although Wilson sold a Braun game model glove this year, his name is no longer listed on the company's website. A representative from Wilson cannot immediately be reached. Braun's deal with Muscle Oak was not renewed last year. Braun's name is still on a restaurant, Ryan Braun's Graffito, in Milwaukee. Omar Shaikh, co-owner and president of the Surge restaurant group, which owns the establishment, says he could not comment on the status of the relationship with Braun. Braun isn't the first Nike wearing sports figure cast off by the company. Nike dropped track coach Trevor Graham to his association with PEDs in 2006, and Eagles quarterback Michael Vick the following year amid his funding of a dogfighting ring. For what it's worth, Nike re-signed Vick 4 years later when he returned to the NFL after serving 21 months in prison. Most recently, in May of this year, Nike cut ties with Lance Armstrong, the famous cyclist, after he admitted to use PEDs. Let's go to a problem in San Francisco out of the starting rotation. The struggling Giants left-hander Barry Zito will not make his next scheduled start tomorrow at Tampa Bay. Bruce Bochy, the skipper of the Giants, announced the news Friday before that game against the Rays in a win for the Giants, and said that right-hander and former Rocky and A's right-handed pitcher Guillermo Moscoso will take Zito's spot. This is what Bochy said. Quote, "How long is this going to be? I can't tell you, but it was time to change it up so Zito will be in long relief. Sometimes it's just time for a change. You get in a rut." And quote, Zito is 4-8 with a 5.09 ERA in 21 starts this year, allowing 141 hits over 111 and a third innings. The 2002 American League Cy Young Award winner is 7-0 with a 9.97 ERA on the road. Bochy said right-hander Ryan Volkson is getting close to returning from a fractured right hand, so that's great news for the Giants. That could possibly and unfortunately bump starter since his injury, Chad Godin, off the rotation. As for the future of the Giants rotation, Bochy did not rule out using a six-man setup. The defending world champions started Friday last in the National West, and they still do. I'll be giving you guys the standings outlook at the end of the show and talk about the Giants' struggle throughout the entire year and so on and so forth. The stats for Guillermo Moscoso, he doesn't really have a lot of stats. He was supposed to play. He was signed at first by the Toronto Blue Jays. He was released, and the Giants picked him up off free agency. And he's pitched in one game so far in 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts in a loss against the Phillies in that one game he's pitched. And now he's going to be a starter, and that's that's a worry for me. I remember Moscoso pitching against the Giants as an A and as a Colorado Rocky, and there's some good things about him and there's some bad things about him, but maybe he's going to be a little bit a difference maker out of the Giants rotation possibly if he gets hot and Zito doesn't get it hot at all. And I think that Zito doesn't like this, but this was the case in 2010. He was struggling, and he would eventually get replaced, and then he wouldn't be in the rotation for the 2010 team that won the World Series and all that stuff. So I think that he's going to have some motivation to get back on the rotation at all means. Let's go to another music break. When we come back, I'll give you a couple more news pieces before I head to the annual end of the show, Standings Outlook, here on Steven's All Baseball Show, here on Spreaker.com, in affiliation with the National Sports Radio Station.
keep us all dumbed down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another package like to keep us trapped in greed. All the green belts wrapped around our minds, and endless red tape to keep the truth confined.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Steven's All Baseball Show here on Spreaker.com. I thank you for letting me be a part of your day here on Spreaker.com. Like I said on the chat box, questions and comments during the show will be accepted and respected. Hopefully you guys can ask any questions and comments. I'll definitely answer those questions or inform the viewers listening to us right now of your comments about certain teams, certain divisions, certain players, the biogenesis connection, all that stuff that's starting to possibly, conclude as early as Monday because of the reports with Alex Rodriguez and 12 other players possibly getting their suspensions on Monday. For A-Rod, he's likely to miss a lot of time. It's supposed to be through the entire 2014 year. And this is big news, but I got a couple pieces of news before we go to the standings outlook. Yasiel Puig, he hurt himself, but he's downplayed the severity of a contusion near the base of his left thumb that forced him out of the Dodgers' 3-0 win over the Cubs on Saturday. Puig was injured making a diving catch from right field on starting catcher's line drive at the bottom of the seventh. His glove hanging the ground and rolling over as he landed. He remained in the game, but was removed for the bottom of the eighth. He pointed to the skin webbing between the base of the thumb and the index finger. Puig said he suffered a similar injury to the same spot while playing earlier this year at AA Chattanooga, missing 10 games, but said, "This feels better." No x-rays were taken, Puig said, and the swelling isn't much. Manager Don Manley says he believed the injury was not serious. Earlier in the game, Puig slammed into the wall in right field territory, foul territory, trying to make a running catch. Making a running catch of Justin Marshall's fly ball. The ball tipping off his glove, tapping off the protective pad in front of the brick wall, and landing in Puig's glove as he laid on the warning track. It was originally ruled a catch, then changed to a foul ball after an umpire conference. And one more thing before we go to the standings outlook. The San Francisco Giants, a Double-A affiliate in Richmond, which is the Richmond Flying Squirrels, intends to poke a little fun at New York City mayor candidate Anthony Weiner and other celebrities with a salute to scandal night. The Double-A Richmond Flying Squirrels of the Eastern League intend to sell hot dogs for $1 on Thursday. The team says fans also can enter a contest by tweeting photos during the game showing how they are enjoying their hot dogs. Weiner has acknowledged sending lewd photos and messages to women online. The Flying Squirrels VP and Chief Operation Officer Todd Parnell says the promotion is, quote, meant to be a fun, tongue-in-the-cheek night, end quote. Other contests will poke fun at scandals involving athletes, including a Brett Favre football throw and Tiger Woods' closest to the pin challenge. So this is going to be a very fun night over there in Richmond. I'm kind of, jealous about that. Let's go to a couple questions I'm getting from Cameron Sodegi, who will be a part of the play-by-play camp over in Los Angeles with National Sports Radio President Robert Dieters, fellow members of National Sports such as Jason Gerline, James Thomas McDaniels, Sam Rosen, and others here on our station. Cameron asks, will Porter Fisher end up working for Major League Baseball? And what I'm trying to think is Porter Fisher has been a vital piece to this biogenesis puzzle. When I was first brought up about her, actions during this entire investigation, I really didn't know her, and this is only last week. I didn't really know about Porter Fisher. I didn't know it was, anything, out of the blue. But, from what Cameron Sodegi says or asks, should he be working for Major League Baseball now as, a vital piece of the puzzle in, having all the documents there and, doing all this stuff to help on Major League Baseball, suspend Ryan Braun, probably suspending Alex Rodriguez for a very long time. And, this is huge. And at the end of the day, I think that Fisher would possibly get a job for Major League Baseball. If Major League Baseball really insisted that she can be Fisher could be a vital piece to the puzzle. It's a he. Sorry. I think that he would be a vital piece to Major League Baseball. And you got another question from Cameron Sodegi. Is Porter Fisher a good person for calling out his own boss? Yes. Report here came out a week ago. It had been reported that Fisher took files belonging to Tony Bosch, the clinic operator of Biogenesis. Because of a dispute over $4,000, Bosch owed him and turned him then over to the Miami News-Times. Fisher insisted in his interview with TJ Quinn of Outside the Lines that he realized illegal activities were going on and wanted federal authorities to get involved. So, in my opinion, some people would be, worried that, this guy's a whistleblower and he's snitching in a way to these guys that, are doing illegal activities. But I feel like it's the right thing to do, especially if this person tries to gain the respect of people that want to keep baseball clean of drugs. And that's been the worriness of drugs in baseball have gone down as the years go on. In 2004, it was probably at the peak, the highest level it can be. But as the years have been going on, like 2005, 2006, 2007, from 2005 to about 2010, things are fading away with the PEDs and the drugs. And it's a shame that it had to be brought up. It starts with the Brian Braun incident back in 2011. And then as a couple of years have been going on, it's gotten worse, actually. And it's gone to the point where, it's a shame that it's come back and it's probably ruining baseball and ruining its reputation for a little while longer. We got a comment on the chat box from a National Sports member. I like Porter Fisher, and what I'm thinking is that that probably is Chandra or AKA Cameron Sadeghi, and from his actions, I think that he's, like I said a couple times already, he's a vital piece of the puzzle in how Major League Baseball, have the right facts, have all and the right facts in this investigation to, suspend all these guys. This is a question from Chandra himself. What do you think A-Rod's penalty will be? We actually got that question. We actually got that answer just about an hour ago. Alex Rodriguez will be suspended on Monday, but it's likely he's going to be suspended through the entire 2014 season. But if it was my opinion, I actually respect that, and that's what I'm thinking. Suspension that goes into the 2014 year, and suspension for a very long time. I wasn't thinking a lifetime suspension, a little bit over the top. This is very big, but I don't think it's comparable to the level of where Pete Rose and his gambling actions would be, considered like a labor violation and giving out guys who use PEDs from a clinic and all that stuff. But I feel like what I've heard from sources about his suspension, I feel that's the right decision from Major League Baseball. And finally, let's end it off with the end of the show, standings outlook. Let's start with the American League. In the AL East, the Sox have taken over the lead of the Tampa Bay Rays. They have a one-game lead as they're 66-45. They need to win 2 more games to match the amount of wins they had just last year. Boston really turning around right now. Tampa Bay is in second place as they're still playing over there at Tropicana Field. I'll give you an update right now. 1-1 is your score at the top of the ninth. David Price has pitched pitch number 100 on the night. He's gone 8 2/3 full, and he's facing NL MVP from last season, Buster Posey, right now. So I'll give you an update from what happens at that bat. Let's stick with the American League East. Baltimore is in third place, 4.5 back of Boston, 3.5 back of Tampa Bay. After that goes the Yankees, 4 games above 500 and 8.5 back of the Sox. Then the Toronto Blue Jays, the only team below 500 at 9 games below 500. They're 15 back of the Sox. In the American League Central, the Detroit Tigers are 62-45, 3-game lead over the Cleveland Indians. The Indians 8-2 in the last 10 after having that 8-game winning streak, very hot at the time, but hopefully they are still in the race for the wild card, even though their record is not on the level of Tampa Bay and Baltimore and Texas as of right now. After Cleveland goes Kansas City, who won 9 in a row before losing to New York yesterday after Eric Young walk-off, but they still won. They still won today. And then they're now 55-52. They're above 500, 3 games above 500, but 7 back of Detroit. Minnesota and Chicago round out the Central. Minnesota 15.5 back of Detroit, And Chicago White Sox are 40 and 67, a cool 27 games below 500 and 22 back of the Detroit Tigers. Let's give you an update on the at-bat between Buster Posey and David Price. It's 2-2 in the count right now. Buster Posey getting a called second strike, a questionable call right there from umpire Joe West. To the AL West, the Oakland A's are doing pretty good. Winning their game today against Texas. They are 64 and 46 now. They have a 3.5 game lead over the Texas Rangers. Rangers are 61 and 50. Let's give you one more update to the at bat. A fly out to center field ends the inning. Let's go to the bottom of the ninth. Jose Mijares for the Giants will be going on the mound at the bottom of the ninth. Now back to the American League West. The Angels, 13 games back of the Oakland A's, 10.5 back of the Texas Rangers, 8 games below 500, and I just can't be more happy as of right now. You make your team better to make them worse. You guys have like all the possible great players. You got Mike Trout, who you had in your system for a couple of years and became a star. You got Albert Pujols in the offseason a couple of years ago. You got Josh Hamilton just this last season. You got C.J. Wilson along with Albert Pujols two off seasons ago, and you still can't win. You have Mark Trumbo on your team. You have Howie Kendrick on your team. You got Pierre Borges on your team. You guys cannot win still. You got Jared Weaver. You guys still can't win. It's a joke. And it's great for me because I can laugh all I want. Seattle Mariners, 50 and 59, 13.5 back of the A's. And then lastly, the Houston Astros, the worst team in Major League Baseball, 36 and 72, 27 games behind the Oakland Athletics. Let's go to the National League now in the East. The Braves have a 12-game lead as they are the only team above 500 in that division. 66 and 45 is the mark for the Atlanta Braves as of right now. They're 38 and 15 at home. 38 and 15 at home. That really helps them out if you think about it. After that, it goes Washington, 53 and 56, 12 games behind the Braves. Philadelphia Phillies, who have lost 4 in a row, and they are 1 and 9 in the last 10. They are 50 and 60, 15.5 back of Atlanta, as well as New York, who are 15.5 back, but 49 and 59. They are in fourth place, they're in fourth place in the National League East. And after that, the Miami Marlins, the worst team in the National League. They are 43 and 65. 21.5 behind the Braves. In the National League Central, the Pirates have taken over the lead in the National League Central after flipping and flopping with St. Louis. Pittsburgh is a half a game with 65 wins and 44 lost games. For St. Louis, they're 64 and 44. After that, Cincinnati is still in the running for the National League Central lead. They're only 5.5 back in that tough division as of right now. But after that, it goes to the Chicago Cubs, who are 49 and 61, 16.5 back. And then lastly, Milwaukee, 46 and 63, 19 games back. And let's finalize the standings outlook with the National League West. The Dodgers, who have been red hot ever since coming out of the All-Star break, are 60 and 49, winning 8 of the last 10. They're 8 and 2 in the last 10. They are looking pretty good. Behind them, 4 games back, is Arizona, 56 and 53. After that, it goes Colorado, 52 and 59, 9 games back. San Diego at 4th, 51 and 59, 9.5 back. They're taking on the Yankees as of right now. And the Giants, like I said, playing against the Rays right now. They're in the bottom of the 9th inning. They are 49 and 59, 10.5 back. The defending champions are in last place in the National League West. Before I wrap up the show, let's go to some updates on some scores. 5-0 now in the top of the 8th. Pirates are leading the Rockies. 6-4 now in the top of the 8th at Camden Yards. The Mariners still have the lead, though. 6-4 over there in Baltimore. Let's keep it going. The Nationals have finalized their game against the Brewers. 3-0 win. Dan Herron gets the win for the Nationals. Rafael Soriano gets save number 28 on the year. The Detroit Tigers have finalized their game against the White Sox, getting the win 3-0. Their only offense came off 3 solo shots off Torrey Hunter, Johnny Peralta, and Jose Iglesias. Top of the 8th, we're still at a 5-3 score as the Reds still have the lead over the Cardinals. In the top of the 8th, the Diamondbacks scored a run, but the Red Sox have added 2 runs since I updated you guys last. It's now 3-2 Boston at Fenway in the top of the 8th. The Diamondbacks are looking to, do some damage right now, but the Red Sox get out of the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th now. After 7 innings in Miami, it's now 4-2 Cleveland Indians over the Marlins. The Indians are trying to get win number 24, like I said, away from home. After in the bottom of the 7th, it's still 4-3 Houston. Still 4-3 Houston in the bottom of the 7th. Runner on second, as Twins are trying to get a tie here as we're heading to the last stages of that game. After 5, it's still 0-0 as the Yankees and the Padres are tied at 0. Yankees only with 1 hit, the Padres only 3 hits, so a very good pitching duo over there at Petco Park. And lastly, top of the 3rd inning, the Angels scored 3 in the 1st inning to take the lead, but Brett Lowry just hit a home run. Just hit a home run on the top of the 3rd. His 9th home run of the year, a solo shot. It's now 3-1 the Angels lead. Jared Weaver on the mound for the Halos, as there's now a runner on first with no outs with Emilio Bonifacio up to the plate. And that is all, folks, here from the Steven Zala Baseball Show studios here on the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com. I'm signing out here. Stephen Hughes is here with you, and thank you very much for being on the show. I got one update for you guys. The play-by-play camp in Los Angeles is right around the corner. Only 2 days, and that means also our 1-year anniversary is very short. Is very close, right around the corner. And like I said, we're gonna have a lot of members at that camp, and at the same time, we're gonna have a bunch of shows on hand here on the National Sports Radio Station. Please tune in to us next week, as we're gonna be possibly having more than 10 shows, probably around 15 shows possibly. We're going to get a lot of shows in the books, and it's going to be a very fun week for the National Sports Radio Station crew. Our new members are going to do a lot of shows. We're going to have our little orientation with them. They're going to give us what they got in their knowledge and information that they have in their brains of the sports that they commentate. We got James Thomas McDaniels on hand. We're going to have Sam Rosen, Jason Gerline, Robert Dieters, Cameron Sadeghi. We're going to have a bunch of guys out there really dedicating themselves to the National Sports Radio Station next week. Like us on like our Facebook page, National Sports Radio Station on Facebook. Follow us here on Spreaker.com and on Twitter. Thank you very much for listening to us, guys. To wrap it up, MLB on Fox, the theme song here on Steven Zala Baseball Show. Good night, and I hope I see you around next time.